Caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The Caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the Caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of a Caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Good evening, and you're welcome for the Caltrop. I'm just kidding. But seriously, you're welcome. No. But welcome to the Caltrop. I am your host, Michael Calderese. We are going to have a fun night tonight. Listen, I've been cracking up concrete the entire day. If you guys didn't know, I don't do this. I do it professionally, obviously, right? Because I look good, sound good. But I do. My day job is a mason contractor. I was breaking up curbing all day, and we're about to put in some Belger block tomorrow. But the beauty of ripping up concrete is you get to do a lot of thinking. You get to do a lot of thinking about what's happening right now. And obviously what's on the top of everybody's mind is peace. So we have that. I mean, we're gonna delve into can this last? And I'm going to bring you kind of two different perspectives. I heard one of the guys that were held captive. He has a book coming out. I watched the Piers Morgan thing today. I'm going to bring you a couple bits of that. We're going to look at that. Just very interesting, the two different perspectives, two different sides. Talk about whether or not I think peace is either going to come about, or whether or not it's gonna happen at all, or if it's going to last. I think that's a very interesting discussion to have. But we have a lot. I mean, listen, there's a lot on the show. We have everything. It's going to be a little bit of a smorgasbord. I have Kennedy on AOC. I have a little bit of proof. We are in day 20 of the shutdown. So we're obviously going to talk a little bit of shutdown, and the Mike's Right's going to be focused on this, because when I'm talking, like, do you feel it in your life? Let me know in the chat. Let me know honestly. Unless you work for the government, I get it, but do you feel like your life is any different with this government shutdown? I want you to keep that in your mind. We have a little bit of vaccine research. I found some interesting things. One of the things I do like about the Kennedy Health Department is they are really looking at a lot of the data, and they're not just taking the data as, here, take this. This is what Big Pharma says. It says they're getting into the research, and I have a little back and forth with Congress, and it's really eye-opening when you look at the childhood vaccine schedule, and it's something that I've been really looking into, with obviously just having a newborn now. And it's something that I wish I did 20 years ago when my first son was born. 21 years ago, my first son was born. So it's something I'm getting into right now, and I think it's very worth having the conversation. Of course, I have a couple of things on Trump, but we have a great show for you tonight. So let's not even waste any more time. Let's get to the Mike's Right. All right, everybody. Ever notice, for some reason, when the government shuts down, everything suddenly gets better? To me, it's amazing. The lights go off in D.C., and boom, we've got a peace deal in the Middle East. Congress takes a vacation, and magically, the world starts functioning again. It's amazing, isn't it? It's like the country finally went on a political cleanse. Because when they're doing nothing, it seems like we're happier. No Congress means no chaos. It's just calm. Seems like it's progress. I mean, we definitely have a slight drop in stupidity levels. And meanwhile, the same politicians who can't pass a budget are crying. The government is shut down. That's going to crush Americans. Everyone needs their health care. It's like, really? Because to me, it feels like for once, like America's kind of getting an oil change. We're seeing it firsthand. I asked you before, has your life changed? Like at all? Now I get it. Once again, if you're a worker, this is tough for you if you're a government worker. But for me, I'm a business owner. Nothing has changed. Nothing. The only difference is I see what this is this time. It's a fucked up game where both sides like to act like they're more important than they really are. While I'm here saying you're both worthless. And they show you that each and every day that we're shut down. Meanwhile, Trump's out here landing at Marine One, working late at midnight. I mean, he's still running like he's got 2016 adrenaline and revenge. I mean, he's negotiating peace deals while Congress is arguing over pronouns and committees. You look at the footage. Marine One touches down. It's dark. He's in a suit, sleeves rolled up, shirt opened, walking like a man who just signed something world-changing. And then you flip over to MSNBC and you have Bernie Sanders, who's mad Trump's not sitting next to him in the Senate fucking cafeteria. Trump should be working here. Should be working here. Bernie, he's the only one working. You've been in Congress since disco was a thing. What the hell have you done besides make money running off of politics? All right, you voted for a tax credit that you made expire. Congratulations, Bernie. You're fighting to fix your own mistake. You're like a guy setting his own house on fire and demanding the neighbors thank him for calling the fire department. And they act like that's noble. They're up there going, we're fighting for the regular people, not the oligarchy. Really? Because the people seem to be doing fine. While you guys are on vacation, maybe we should make the shutdown permanent. Trim this bloated circus down to part-time hours, just like you force corporations to do with Obamacare. Everyone remember that? Obamacare, what they're arguing about now? The Affordable Care Act? The only thing less affordable than that was life itself after that. They literally had to bribe people with tax credits to sign up for it. And now those expired too. That's after it took 2 years and $1 billion+ to get the website running. Do you remember that years ago? You know your product sucks when the government has to pay people to buy it. Oh, it's like shovel-ready jobs. And corporations, they don't cover more people now, do they? No, they just cut people to part-time. Congratulations, Washington. You solved healthcare by creating the gig economy. But you know what really kills me? These shutdowns are planned. They want them. It's like a scheduled fight. It's like a scheduled fight night for DC. Both sides come out swinging, pretending to care, while secretly rooting for the other guy to land a few hits. They need this drama, because if they actually solved any problems, they'd be out of a job. If the border was fixed, what would they tweet about? If peace actually existed, then what would CNN cry about? They could have all done this all decades ago. They could have all closed the border, right? Years ago. They could have negotiated peace. They could have rebuilt some industries, but they didn't. Because they'd have to admit that somebody like Trump could actually do it. And that's what's killing them right now. Even Democrats are quietly saying, got to hand it to them. They'll never say it on camera, except if you're the Clintons for some reason. But you can see it on everyone else's faces. The moment they realize the guy that they swore was the devil was Hitler, just pulled off a Christian miracle right in time for Christmas. It's amazing. And the Democrats, I get it. It's like watching your ex marry up. You hate it, but damn it, she did good. This is way better than what Biden ever did. You have to admit it now. You have to say it to yourself. Look, and I criticize Trump. You all see me. I hold him accountable. And sometimes I don't even get what he's doing. But one thing's clear. He's definitely doing something right. He's running the country like a business that's sick of being robbed blind. He's working late. He's delivering deals. And he's not hiding behind committees or votes or procedural nonsense. He's just getting things done, whatever he can get done, wherever he can get done. In a town where doing anything is a miracle. This is historic. So here we are, day whatever of the shutdown. Who cares? The government's closed. Peace is breaking out. The economy is breathing. And for once, it feels like we trimmed some fat off the beast. I don't know, maybe. But maybe this shutdown isn't the problem. Maybe it's the preview. Because let's be real. When Washington stops talking, apparently, America starts winning. And that's Mike's right. Hope you listen. All right, as you can see, I haven't even showered today. You see the hair? You see the hair? You want me to throw it up a little bit? Oh, man, it was so hard to get. I was trying to get ready, and we had a lot. I had a lot going on with the baby, with the cameras. Let me get to the chat really quick. Yankee 68 seen me. He's like, how do you do it? You know, you can always cancel it when you get tired like this. You know what? I would just in West Virginia. I can't cancel it. At that point, I had no idea. I had an idea, a little bit. I didn't have the monologue written out. I didn't have anything like that. And Yankee 68 was there. He's been helping me. He's helped me with my camera work. I am going to be speaking at an event for this dude named Chris Pollock in my area coming up. Sorry. Those monologues get me, right? This dude, Chris Pollock in my area, is running for Jackson Council. And he's a regular guy. He's pissed off. He's like me. He started speaking up, and somehow his stuff started going viral. And I know how. He's an engaging guy. He's an engaging speaker. And more importantly, he's taking on some of the harder issues that people are afraid to take on for. So the 25th of this year, of this month, October, we're going to be speaking out of the event for him. It's a campaign rally for him. I'm looking forward to it. It's really like my first speaking event. And Yankee 68 is going to be there to kind of document it all for me. He reached out and said, I'd really love to help out with that, and I really love having him. And he is, of course, the first in the chat. Jay Calday, Goon Mama Dukes. Everybody get in the chat. We have an awesome chat family. The only way I know what you're thinking is if you put it in the comments. I want your comments, especially today. Today's one of those days I work my ass off. I'm going to rely on you. I'd love it if you ask me a question. If there's something on your mind, if there's something you think I should be addressing, put it in the comments right after you finger blast my like button. I'd really appreciate that. And then, hey, share this with your fingertip as well. Hey, Goon, like I said, 8 calories. Love it, my brother. I get a text message from my sister-in-law, and I love it because they were I wanted to get the girls singing happy birthday to me because they did a really good job. But then I get a message of my nieces, a picture of my nieces watching the show on their tablet. And my first thought was like, shit, I gotta watch my language. Then I remembered they're my nieces, and sometimes my language isn't great. What are you gonna do? It's Johnny 69. It's Johnny. Let's fucking go. I love it. Boondock Guy. And my man Boondock Guy says Congress and the Senate need to have their paychecks stopped. I 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. Hey, Congress, those are the people that should not get jobs. And I'm even a bigger advocate for this. If the government shuts down, how about all of you lose your jobs? You have one job to do, and that's keep government running. That's your only job. When it shuts down, you should all lose your jobs immediately. How about we make that the new amendment to the Constitution? Can we at least agree on that? Right next to the balanced budget amendment, to where if they do not balance a budget every single year, hell, let's start with passing a budget instead of a continuing resolution. Let's start there. But if they don't pass a budget every year and then balance it, everyone loses their jobs and special elections are held. I don't understand why this is such a difficult thing to do. If you guys cannot do your jobs, you should lose it. Right? To me, very, very simple. Very, very, very basic. But what are you going to do? Yankee 68 says, glad Trump got the troops paid. Listen, once again, Trump is proving himself, guys, that he is the only one that's working for you. You could complain what you want, you could say what you want, and I have been up here and I've definitely said things that I was not happy with about him. But the bottom line is he's getting things done. He's definitely getting the troops paid. He had billionaire friends coming out saying, listen, let me take care of some of these guys for a little bit. This is what happens when you have the relationships that he has. Jersey Abe 69, my convict buddy, I love you. I fucking love you, buddy. Keep it shut down forever and lay off all the bums. We're going to get into that. We actually have, what is that? The Supreme Court just ruled, or a court just ruled. Not a court, you know what I'm saying. They will rule against anything. I have that somewhere up here. I don't want to get to it yet, but it's something about one of the courts ruled that he can't fire everybody during one of these shutdowns. Bullshit. Free calories. I love it. Keep paying our military too. Yes, Warren Buffett even said that he would penalize our Congress if budget is not balanced. That's Yankee 68. And it's Johnny says there's a guy offering to help upfront money for our troops. Listen, there's more than just our troops that aren't getting paid. There's a lot of government workers that aren't getting paid. I know they are going to get paid, but it's there are real people that are going on with this. This is why this type of shit can't be allowed. This type of stuff absolutely can't be allowed. And the thing that drives me fucking crazy about it is I've said this to you guys before, and I may sound repetitive, but they're using something that they created to hold you hostage. The regular ass person who is not getting paid, who is a government employee that's still going and doing their jobs. They're working. They're not getting a paycheck. In many cases, a lot of times they're furloughed, but there's real people that are doing this on something that they set up years ago. I look back at it. They were arguing back then to make this a permanent tax deduction. They could not get their Democrats on board to do this. None of the Republicans voted for it back then. None of the Republicans voted for it. It was all Democrats pushing this through. So the Democrats set this up back then to make it an issue here just in case Trump got in office. These people have this type of forethought. There's a reason why they can't get all these people on board, because they want to set up issues for the midterms or set up for the next presidential campaign. This is why they don't fix anything. This is why they can't fix anything. And that's why I've been saying for a really long time they should be using the nuclear option. They should. I had Marjorie Taylor Greene on that. Yankee 68 sent it to me. And I think in my hustle to get everything set up, I don't think it actually set. I don't know. I don't think it actually came over. I'm not seeing it here. But Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying the exact same thing that I was saying. How long ago? This is on every single one of these groups of people. And when you're someone like me, you're not seeing a difference. You're not seeing any difference whatsoever. And everyone's talking about are illegals getting money or illegals getting money. And you look at what the left is actually arguing about. Okay, so the left is actually, we just made it very clear that they're arguing to extend a tax cut that they couldn't decide on themselves to make permanent years ago. So them themselves couldn't agree on that. So we have that. And then they're also saying, oh, we're not funding illegals. I saw this on CNN. This is this guy, admittedly, don't know his name, but this is something he said was awesome. And he brings some receipts. You ready? Listen.
Illegal immigrants are not the reason why our healthcare system is broken.
Yeah, it's not deflection at all. In fact, I brought receipts. So here's the CMS, the Center for Medicaid and Medicare Services, right here with their press release earlier this year saying they were having to increase their oversight on states like California who were abusing Medicaid and classifying it as an EUSA, an emergency system, when it wasn't. You've got the average state spends 5% of its Medicaid roughly on emergency services. California, 35 to 40%. Why would that be? Because California passed a state law that says we will fund Medicaid for illegals, and then, oh, by the way, we'll raise our provider taxes, and then, oh, by the way, we'll use that as a match to draw down federal funds. And they're using this whole cavitation process.
An accounting trick to put it on the taxpayer.
Money is fungible, and California's loophole is a...
It's an accounting trick to put it onto the taxpayer. When these states can use federal funds and these states can make determinations to pay for illegals' health care, your federal dollars are, in fact, going towards illegals' health care. That's just one of the many, many ways that it's actually taking place. So that argument's true. So, when I went off on the Republicans last week, I fully stand by it. This week, I'm going to call out the Democrats because now this is on you. Put it in the chat. Who do you think's winning the argument on this? Who do you think's winning the battle? The only person I see that's really making a crossover and saying we got to figure something out is Marjorie Taylor Greene, believe it or not. But what's going on? Who's winning the PR battle? I think it's actually the Republicans at this point. I really do think it's the Republicans. It's, and the Republicans don't seem to be budging. And by the way, the thing that the Democrats are arguing for doesn't expire till December. So they are shutting down the government now. They have now wasted how many days arguing about this? So they shut it down when they could have just passed the same continuing resolution that they've been passing the entire time. And then had this conversation that they should have been having while the government was open. All these arguments should have been taking place before it closed. It's fucking unbelievable. Then you had Kennedy. I don't know if I played this the other day, but I'm playing it again. This is Kennedy on AOC, just to kind of lighten the mood up a little bit.
Title to mine. How can I put this? I think that the Congresswoman is single-handedly trying to put an end to dumb blonde jokes. And our attitude is, you've heard me say it before, our secret plan is Operation Let Her Speak.
Yeah. I think that guy's hysterical, but he was going on and on about that. And you heard some of the questions that he asked, but these are the guys. These people are on podcasts and they're going out and they're doing all this stuff. Meanwhile, the government's shut down, and I'm one of those people. I say I want to keep it shut down. Let me see if there's anything else on that. I don't believe there is. Let's get into a couple of other things here. If you didn't know, we had the Argentinian president Milei. He was coming to the White House, and he gave Trump a really nice gift. When they nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, they packaged it up, framed it up, and sent it to him. Trump seemed really nice.
Quería darle.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
And when he did this letter, Mr. President, your settlement in the Middle East wasn't done. So we had to do a new letter to include that, because this is a very important...
You'll have to add one extra sentence.
Exactly.
That's great. Thank you very much. This is such a beautiful statement.
Really nice. Listen, he's facing an election right now. If you look what's happened in his country, it's doing really well. It's amazing what happens when you have these type of people. They seem like they're normal people. They have a message. They somehow are able to resonate that message. They get into power, and they actually do right by their people. Say what you want about the guy in El Salvador. His streets are clean, and his streets are safe, and his country is starting to build and make and do positive relations with the world. It's very interesting what happens when you get into some of these places. I have one on Trump. He gets asked a question by an Argentinian, and Trump, he's hysterical because he looks at these people. He's like, love Argentinians, love the Argentinians.
Congratulations on the peace you achieved in the Middle East, first of all.
Thank you very much.
And my question is regarding Argentina.
Does continue.
Are you from Argentina?
I'm from Argentina, yes.
I like the Argentina. I like them much better than ABC. Than ABC fake news. Me too, sir.
Does continue.
Love the Argentina. I love the Argentina. I mean, she must have been hot because he reacts like that to hot chicks. He does, and he was hammering ABC fake news all day. Listen to this one.
Your ABC fake news.
Mr. President,
Brian, please.
First of all,
I
congratulations.
don't take questions from ABC fake news. After what you did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the United States, I don't take questions from ABC fake news. Brian, go ahead.
I don't take questions from you. Fuck you. Listen, Stephanopoulos, the problem with Stephanopoulos, he only comes after Republicans like that. He doesn't go after any Democrats. He's not straight. He's not to the point. You know, I'm going through something like that in my own town, and it's I'm going to keep referring back to this because it's fresh on my mind. The media is bought and paid for on every level of politics. It's something that I think you guys have to understand, even local politics. So right now, the dude Chris Pollock that I'm going for, there's media outlets that are on the payroll, not that they run. It's not like the town runs these. They're independently ran, but they pay for these outlets to write negative pieces or take bits of information and fragments of information and make a big deal out of it and keep hammering it. And they did it to our mayor candidate, Madeline. And they're doing it to Chris Pollock. They're trying to assume that they're trying to make it sound like this guy was a pedophile by association or something. It's really disgusting what these people are doing. And this is local news. This isn't nationwide news. This is local news that are going after regular people. I just had, I think I told you guys about it. This guy, Shore News Network, they used my name to bash our mayor because I wanted to have a debate between the two of them. Now, I know Madeline wanted to have it, but she's listening to her campaign. Why? I don't know. I guess they feel that they're up and they don't want to jeopardize anything. Okay, great. I think she could have handled it. But it's, you just see this local level where they are paid to skew the information. They're not paid to just give it in an honest fashion. They're paid to skew it. And you can have an administration that engages in that type of propaganda, because to me that's propaganda. It's really propaganda, and I don't even know if a lot of it's probably paid for by our tax dollars. So it's just very interesting when you look at all this stuff. On what happens. Let's get into this because I want to take 2 minutes. Actually, I want to take about 10 minutes to talk about this. So let's get into some in-depth breakdowns with this because, listen, I'm not going to give you my opinion. I'm not a doctor, none of that stuff. I'm just going to tell you what I've read and what I've done, especially for YouTube. I know they get sensitive when you start talking about vaccines. But what I'm going to play for you is just some people talking. That's it. All right. And there's been stuff going back and forth about what's true. Have the vaccines for the childhood schedule been properly tested against a placebo? To me, that's a very big question. Are these things properly tested? Yes or no? Is what you're going to be injecting into my 1-day-old child properly tested? I think that's something every single parent, every single person should know before they walk in, especially when it's day one or not even day one, like 3 hours into it, they get their first medical intervention with Big Pharma. Is that properly tested under placebo-controlled studies? And what's been coming out, and one of the arguments that you see from whatever reason, this is a right-left predicament now. It used to be flopped. I don't understand how this works. But 661 studies or whatever that now, I think it's 661. There's 661 studies that are placebo-controlled that do go for testing. And you try to have this debate in Congress with our health department. Listen to this is 3 minutes long. You have to listen to this exchange. If you want to understand the gravity of what's being shoved down every one of our throats when they put these into your bodies or into your children's bodies, just understand what these actual science is saying. And these are the scientists. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let them say it.
Documented 661 trials using inert placebo controls. We confirmed that all 16 antigens routinely recommended for children have been studied in placebo-controlled trials. The claim that childhood vaccines haven't been tested against placebos is demonstrably false.
But when you actually drill down into those 661 trials, let me give you the breakdown of them, okay? 567 of these trials were not a routine injected vaccine for a disease on the CDC's childhood schedule. So totally irrelevant to the safety of routine injected childhood vaccines. The remaining 94 studies, 70 of them did not involve healthy children. Again, completely irrelevant to the safety of childhood vaccines. Of the remaining 24, 21 did not involve a U.S. licensed vaccine. That leaves us with 3 studies, 3, that were claimed to have an inert control that were relied upon to license a routine injected childhood vaccine out of this entire list of 661. And these actually help really highlight the problem we have in terms of assessing safety. One was a trial for the chickenpox vaccine, the varicella vaccine. It was only a few hundred people, so it was underpowered anyway. But Dr. Scott says it's got an inert control, but actually it was an injection of neomycin, an antibiotic. That's not inert. The second one was Gardasil 4 trial, which had thousands and thousands of girls and women in the control group. Almost all of them got an aluminum adjuvant injection. And then there were a few hundred, only a few hundred, that were labeled as a inert control, but they weren't. They got everything that's in the vial except for the antigens and the alum, which included L-histidine, sorbate, sodium borate, yeast protein, not inert. And then the third one was a Gardasil 9 trial, which finally, by the way, did have a saline injection. The few hundred that got the placebo, but they only got it if they first got 3 doses of Gardasil 4. So again, not an actual inert control group. The result is there's 0 trials, 0, which were relied upon in this list of 61 to license a routine injected vaccine on the CDC schedule that included a placebo, as well as 0 trials of a vaccine used as a control to license a routine injection vaccine on the CDC schedule.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if you went through all 661 trials. We haven't even conducted the full analysis yet. But once
I think Mr. Siri kind of has.
You should join our team. Yeah.
You see, he's got a pretty crack team doing that.
Yeah.
Did you see that exchange? You had the guy sitting up there on his high horse. There's 600. He was sure about it. There's 661. That's the number. What you're saying is demonstrably false. I know it. I'm 100% accurate with it. And then they kick it over to the other guy, and he's like this. Well, actually, let me break it down for you. And he doesn't just break it down. He breaks it down. This is what I love about this. And this is what you have to look for and what you have to demand everywhere. This is why that guy Siri is amazing. He gave you all the breakdown when it came to specifics. This is the exact number that weren't doing with healthy kids. They were doing with a certain subgroup. You get rid of them. Doesn't matter if they were placebo controlled or not. That's for unhealthy kids. Then you have this group. Boom. Then you have this group. Boom. Get to the 3 that are actually talking about the group that you're talking about. Now, there's 3 of them. This is the one reason why this one isn't, and it's because it was this, that, and the other thing. Boom, 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 specific to that study. This is what they tested with. It's not inert. It was an antibiotic. This is the second one. Boom, 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 boom. Fact, 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 fact. And then what happened? The guy's sitting there twiddling his thumbs like, I'd be hard-pressed to say that you guys went through all of the documentation. The guy's like, we have. I'm showing you in depth, like six or several times. My team's been through it already. And then at the end, what you don't hear is he said, you should come on my team. He's like, I will if you let me call the shots. It's like, you clearly suck. And you got called out on your bullshit to people that actually know what they're talking about. And then he goes on. But let's get to a couple things in the chat. I saw we have I hate when that happens. I loathe when that happens. 6 Design says your child is a test. They simply don't care. The death jab had millions of unsuspecting test subjects. Literally. Yes, 100%. Literally. I said it when it all came out that you are the test subject. They were putting it in you and they were going to see what the hell happened. They were going to see what takes place. And unfortunately, we're seeing the results of what took place 4 years ago now. Now is when the test is going to start. I said then, anybody that's listened to me back when it was Calderus Unleashed knows this. I said then, 4 or 5 years from what you're going to see 3, 4, 5 years ago from when these vaccines go out, that's when you're going to see the results of it. What's going to happen? Are you going to have higher cancer rates? Are you going to have higher autoimmune diseases? Are you going to have higher overall disease? Are you going to have sicker people? Are you going to have more heart attacks? Are you going to have way more blood clots? These are all things I was saying years ago. This is what we need to look for. This is what we have to look out for. And now what are you seeing now? You're seeing turbo cancers like never before. You're seeing heart attacks in younger populations. You're seeing people that are young, healthy, all of a sudden getting breast cancer and just dying. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I used to watch something called Street Outlaws. And I watched these guys, they were doing a show in Australia when, Australia was like getting the vaccines and all that stuff. And during this, all this COVID, and it's like everybody that was going there had to get vaccinated. And I thought to myself at the time, wow, one of these guys are going to die. Lo and behold, a couple years later, one of their big characters is like this girl, Lizzie. She died. Now, I'm not saying it was from that. I'm not making that claim. But if you look at Australia alone, their vaccine injury list and injury claims to the government are huge. And the fact that if you just take this argument at face value, it's telling you that they really didn't test these things properly from a placebo point, like from a placebo-controlled point of view. So what's the problem with saying, shouldn't they do that? I don't understand the problem. The only way you understand the problem is when you say, oh, it's getting in the way of somebody's money. It's getting in the way of their money, and they take that money and they give it to all the politicians. It's getting in the way of everybody's money. Listen to what we say. Listen to what we do. We've never steered you wrong, coming from the companies that have paid billions in fines. This is not unreasonable to ask a company that has lied to you about their product before, are you lying to me now? Because kind of seems like you did. Kind of seems like you did. Kind of seems like you've been lying to us for years about your products. I don't know. That's just what it seems like. I'm gonna play a little bit of the effects. This is him talking about the effects of what we're seeing because of the schedule.
The study was based on actual medical records, meaning finally a large vaccinated versus unvaccinated study using health data from a major United States health institution, something, as the IOM pointed out, never existed before. The study began by explaining it set out to reduce vaccine hesitancy by assuring parents the CDC vaccine schedule is safe. Instead, what these researchers found was that vaccinated children had 4.29 times the rate of asthma, 3.03 times the rate of atopic disease, 5.96 times the rate of autoimmune disease, and 5.53 times the rate of neurodevelopmental disorders, which included 3.28 times the rate of developmental delay and 4.47 times the rate of speech disorder. All of these findings were statistically significant. There was also other conditions for which there were numerous cases in the vaccinated group, but zero in the unvaccinated group. Hence, a rate cannot be calculated, including brain dysfunction, ADHD, learning disabilities, intellectual disabilities, and tics. For example, there were 262 cases of ADHD in the vaccinated group, and there were none in the unvaccinated group. In this study, there were around 16,000 kids in the vaccinated group, by the way, and around 2,000 in the unvaccinated group. So the rate, of course, between those is important, and that's what the study compared. These findings were troubling, including because these chronic health issues can be caused by immune system dysregulation, and vaccines can cause immune system dysregulation. Citation.
So that could go on and on and on and on, but I noticed the time. If you have time, listen to that testimony. And it doesn't sound like propaganda to me. It sounds like it sounds like he's doing exactly what everyone's been asking them to do for years, which is follow the science. Follow the science. It's I don't understand how this is a very difficult thing to figure out. I really don't. I really don't. I just thought that we would want to know exactly what these things that are being injected into our body are doing. To see people fight against it, that's why I say everything's fake. Like, I really feel like I've been lied to about everything my entire life, besides like what my parents told me and select things. But from the ozone layer to, I'm talking all of those things that the media, the hype machine got you going on. I feel like everything was a lie and everything is fake. And the more I do this, the more I see it. It's really quite something. It's 8:42. Where do we want to go with this? Let's go here. So I want to say one quick thing. And I'm going to give you an alert. Calderis is going to sound like an asshole. So I have held this back for weeks now, and I've been bringing it out in drips and drabs, but I've held this back for weeks, but I have to tell you guys honestly what I think about something. And I don't know what it is, but it's there, and I don't know exactly why, and I think I've said it before, and I want to tell you it again. So Charlie Kirk was posthumously giving the what was it called, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It's the highest civilian honor, and it's awesome gesture, and it's awesome. I don't know what I'm looking at is the problem. I don't like the acting. I feel like it's being shown to me. When I honestly hear her talk, and that's all I'm going to say. 4 times I've heard her talk, and 4 times I've been really turned off. I don't know what it is. I'm battling with what it is, because it could be I'm a jerk off. I'm fully, listen, I'm gonna let everybody know right now that I can be an asshole. I told you I view myself as the whole ass, not just the whole taint and everything. So I'm admitting that is a possibility in this entire thing, that I could just be an asshole. That's why I'm getting weird vibes. I'm going to tell you, I don't think that's true. I am an asshole. I don't think that's the reason why I'm getting weird vibes. But I heard her talk 4 times, and all 4 times I wanted to turn it off. And all 4 times I felt like I was watching bad acting. And listening to her talk of the podcast versus in the stage and all that stuff, it's different. It sounds a little bit different. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying it really turned me off. This whole thing has turned me off. So I just want to let you guys know, like I told you this a while ago. If you want to get your Charlie Kirk conspiracy shit and you want to go to those vigils and you want to pray to him every single Sunday, it seems like that's what's happening on the Republicans anymore. You're going to have plenty of people for that. If you want to go the full conspiracy route, go Candace Owens. She seems to be on it. She seems to be the only one that gives a shit. Everyone else has just moved on. Bye, Charlie. Yeah, we got Turning Point. Don't worry about it. Hey, everyone, sign up. Sign up. That's the most important thing you could do for Charlie is sign up. Here's a freedom shirt. Here's a freedom shirt. I'm not hating on the organization. I'm just saying everyone moved on pretty fast. It seems like Candace is the only one that hasn't. But I wanted to let you guys know, like, I every time I've watched this stuff, I don't get moved by it. I don't. And for whatever reason, people are moved and people are apparently finding Jesus and they're finding religion over this. Where is that? I think I had it. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Yep. U.S. Bible sales surge 41.6% and Christian app downloads rise 79% since Charlie Kirk's assassination. And that's since 2019. Says recent industry data reveals a 41.6% increase. That is, listen, those are really big numbers. People saw that event and somehow saw Jesus. I see that event and I see demons. Maybe I'm the fucking weirdo. Again, I could be the asshole. I saw that. I saw demons. I went to the vigil in my own town. I saw in the crowd, Jesus. The ones leading it, demons. So for whatever reason, like you've been hearing a lot of people, I don't know how this comes up, but like the Antichrist is coming up left and right all over the place anymore. You hear prominent figures talking about the Antichrist. Well, if you were the Antichrist, what would you do? You would use Christianity or you would use this against itself and lead a bunch of people following false idols. That's all the fuck I see. I see a lot of wonderful people falling into a very, very uncomfortable, for me, uncomfortable path. I don't know what it is. I was not comfortable when I was in Brick. I wasn't comfortable when I watched his none of this stuff is comfortable to me. It seems just as dangerous as every other uber religious thing that I watched that everybody complains about, from the Jews to the Muslims to everything else. It was one of those things that were very interesting. I wanted to get that off my chest because, listen, that's all I saw with this. So, and you still see it right now. The Republican Party is fully trying to win races based off of Charlie Kirk. They're trying to keep that alive. And when I saw that, I said, okay, this is really going to help them. And I think a lot of them overplayed that hand, and it's probably going to come back to bite them in the ass at the end of the day. Let's go through some. Ooh, do we want to do? Let's do some things that made me laugh. I'm not going to play the bumper, but I don't know if you saw these guys. This is phenomenal. You want to stick here. AI is really good for one thing, and I think one thing only. It's helping me with monologues and making these videos. They were making the gorilla, or not the gorilla, the Bigfoot videos, if you remember them, the Yeti videos. The ones that I'm addicted to now are the Mr. Rogers videos, and they have him talking to rappers, and it's hysterical. But this is one with him and Eazy-E.
Easy, do you like Bofa? Bofa? Yeah, Bofa D's nuts on your chin. Ah, man. Oh, you got me. I couldn't help.
So, Six Design says, I ran the numbers through AI. COVID was never more dangerous than the common flu for any age range. Fauci rubber stamping his claims with trust of science was 100% intentional and needed to mislead the people. I should have read these before I played that. But that's fine. You like both of these nuts in your mouth. Says, trust your instincts. At this point, it's probably best thing that you could do for you and your family. You are not bullshit. Jay Callis says, or the first Calder is to be an asshole. Yeah, technically speaking, my father had a garage in our backyard. The garage still exists, and I believe it's still Asshole's Garage. So now it's a different asshole. I gotta change it to the whole ass garage. That'll be good. Six Design says Kirk didn't deserve it, but so many are banking on his death. That's just so wrong. Yeah, dude, no one deserves to get shot wherever the fuck he got shot, and it's horrible. And it's I think that event showed how horrible this all could be. And I loved. My problem is I love the messaging and I love what they're doing. I hate kind of what's around it. It's very fucking weird. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea. This is the first thing I've ever watched where I don't trust what I saw. I mean, we've been conditioned at this point not to trust anything that we see. And I watched the guy get his shot right in front of me, and it's like, what am I watching now? But what is it? His necklace is an earpiece. Is it blood? Did he get shot in the back? Did he get shot in the front? How did his shirt blow up? Left and right. And it looked like it's an exit wound. And you have this expert, that expert, this sniper. I'd be here. I'd be there. I'd be in behind him. I'd be up his ass. I'd be jerking him off before I fucking shot him. It's like, but you watch everything else and it just gives you the creeps. I don't know what it is. It's fucking gross. Sorry. My mother used to try and get us as kids to watch You Won't Be My Neighbor. That dude was cringe even back then. Listen, I love Mr. Rogers. When he sent the train to the back and you had the people in the back, what the fuck were they in the back? They were great. But this is another Mr. Rogers here. This is right for you. This is for you, Six Designs.
Have you ever passed a little gas and then noticed a tiny bit of poop came with it? That's called a shark. It happens to everybody sometimes, and it's perfectly natural.
Listen, this is what AI is really good for. Now, this isn't AI. This is Nancy Pelosi getting harassed on the street by a woman. And I kind of feel bad for Nancy Pelosi right here, and I'll tell you why afterwards.
Congresswoman Pelosi, are you at all concerned that the new January 6th committee will find you liable for that day? Are you at all concerned about the new January 6th committee finding you liable for that day? Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions.
Shut up. You shut up. You had me on January 5th. I don't know. Listen, I feel bad for Nancy Pelosi, and I'm going to tell you why. Every one of you guys know my perspective on January 6th. And if you don't, go back and listen to some old episodes. You can't listen to Two Mics Live because they're all deleted. But anyway, I digress on that. But the whole argument of whose job was it to send in the National Guard? If you're an objective observer, and I am an objective observer to this stuff, I call it balls and strikes. I call it both ways. You can't say Trump didn't have the power to do this after he just took over D.C. completely. He literally took over all of D.C. Why is it Nancy Pelosi's job on January 6th to do it? He could have just done it. He just did it. Why didn't you do it then? So, okay. Is it a Republican talking point that she denied it? Maybe it was put on her desk and Trump kicked it over to her and say, Nancy, it's on you. What do you want? It's on your decision. Did that conversation take place? I don't know. But I'm just saying, if you took over all of DC, I think you could have turned the National Guard loose. I want to play this one. This is Privacy in the UK. I played where it was going to be the digital ID, where you weren't going to be able to get a job or work in the UK if you didn't have a digital ID. This is the stuff that starts happening when you give up your freedom, and most importantly, when you start giving up cash to go all digital with all this digital currency that's going to be coming out. But listen to this, and it's kind of a mashup video with his mouth, with his words behind it. But this is what they're doing in the UK.
It represents a shift in how privacy is managed. Once access is granted, it won't stop at your phone. Your personal data may be managed differently, and there could be implications for how your information is handled across platforms. This isn't just about mobile phones. It's about redefining privacy, trust, and how our most sensitive information is processed. We're now at a point where personal space is being viewed in a new light.
Personal space is being viewed in a new light. We're going to be up your ass hard. Six Design says Nancy held the authority as Speaker of the House. Trump could only request the guard, not demand them, if I'm getting that right. Yes, that's the argument that they used. But he just sent them all in. And he didn't need the Speaker of the House's permission to do it. Unless I'm getting that part wrong. That's why I really don't understand it. And do I have one more? This is I don't know if I played this before, but this is Pam Bondi. I love her fighting back a little bit. I think I actually played this now. I'm not gonna play that again. I'm gonna play this one. Check out this excuse for Letitia James. This is funny. I believe this is this one.
For a second, what Tish James, and again, we're still getting the details, but if it's related to this mortgage issue, I mean, this is something that everyone in America, or many people at least, if you're lucky enough to be able to buy a house in America, you deal with this, right? The federal government doesn't go after all of these people for doing this. Does that aside for the...
This is something everybody does. Everybody does it. Everybody did exactly what Trump did too. You guys were not making that argument back then. Let's get a couple headlines really quick before we wrap up. Russia to publish the JFK files in November. Publish it. Let's go, Putin. That's how Putin's negotiating. All right. You want me to you want to send weapons to the UK? All right, great. I'm releasing everything I have that we stole from you about JFK. Kamala Harris, I love it. She's not going away. Suggests that she was the most qualified presidential candidate in U.S. history. The only thing she's qualified is for wine, red wine, after she fucking eats. Lindsey Graham, fuck Lindsey Graham. I don't care about Lindsey Graham. Trump says that we are in a trade war with China. We'll talk a little bit about that on Friday. China is making some very interesting moves, some unpredicted things. Very interesting. This is awesome. Hakeem Jeffries and Speaker Johnson accepted invitation to debate on C-SPAN. I wonder how that's going to go. I don't think it's going to go very well for Jeffries. He just speaks too slow. He's retarded. People don't realize that. I mean no disrespect to anybody. Honestly, I'm saying that guy specifically is missing a chromosome, and it's okay for Johnson, because that guy, he is really, really horrible. How he even got to that position is absolutely incredible. And the Supreme Court, if you didn't know, the Supreme Court is facing a wipeout if they got the Voter Registration Act. And this is the map, basically a current map on the left, and what the plausible map scenario would be on the right. Now, listen, if it affects voting that much, and it's worked out in a way where it favors one group of people versus the other, I think that's terrible. I think it should all be equal. And we have one more. We had some Republican kids. The young Republicans had some very, very interesting text messages. It's hard for you to see, but they're talking about what does it say? If we had, they were joking about gas chambers and slavery and rape, And one of them said, "Is if this was ever leaked, we're in trouble." Well, guess what? It was leaked, and apparently you guys are in trouble. Don't really give a shit, but they are the young Republicans. And I think that's about it. And the Piers Morgan stuff I didn't get to. We'll kick that to Friday. I made a educated decision to pop that back. But that is about it. Hey, listen, the government's still shutting down. Hat hasn't gotten bigger, but he is still there. They love illegals. They love their illegals. That was a brilliant job by Trump. And let's see, Six Design says she clearly is being deceptive. There's no question, but that's the penalty for her. Slap on the wrist. That's what they'll never get. Yeah, Letitia James suggested documents she signed were not evidence of clear deception. That's clear deception. It's clearly she went after Trump for doing the stuff that she did herself. That's the most ignorant part of this. So if that's what she did, she should get everything that she was going after Trump for. And I think, she won a lot of ridiculous money. Six Designs, really appreciate you guys being with me. Jay Cal, the capital and the city are two different entities. Pelosi was totally in charge of the Capitol. Okay, I will take your guys' word for it, even though that I know for a fact that there was definitely guardsmen there that were dressed in camo stuff, but there was also police there. And they also had it barricaded off. Listen, it's a very interesting time. I'll tell you that much. But Yankee 68, J Cal, the Six Designs. We had It's Johnny, Boondock Guy, all you guys, everybody that's there, everybody in all the chats. I really appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Hey, if you could do me a favor, like I ask you all the time, take that finger blast the share button. It loves it. It loves the tip of your finger. It loves your knuckle. It doesn't matter. You can push it hard. You can push it soft. Whatever your phone can handle, I need you to push that button along with the like button because it really helps me out, especially in the Facebook algorithm, the YouTube algorithm. For whatever reason, Rumble, if you want to watch me on Rumble, just join me on Rumble. I'm not sure how to get in that algorithm without being put there. So I digress with that. But thank you guys very much. I tell you this all the time. You have to be your own caltrop, and you have to ask questions. You have to think. It's very important. I am seeing this on a local level, guys. It's happening on every single level. You can't imagine how you're being lied to and how you're being deceived and how you're being manipulated with psych ops from the local level to the national level. It is quite amazing. You have got to train yourself to look past all of this stuff. That's how you become a caltrop. And I'm going to be there right there for you, doing it for you, helping you out. Listen, I love this, guys. My whole day is building stuff and thinking about what type of product I could put here for you. So I really appreciate it. If you support me, I'm doing this job for you guys. I love it. And I hope you guys love me doing it. Thank you very much. And listen, I'm going to leave you with this. You want to be a caltrop, get involved locally. Locally, you can make a difference. Get involved locally. And still pay attention nationally. All right. But I think if we all just took over locally, they're going to be forced to do what they do nationally. And that's how it starts. Thank you very much, guys. This Caltrop is out. Later.